Okay, let's look at another example, and we're going to stick with addition, even though it's adding and subtracting, just to keep it focused. And we're going to look at sixths and quarters, and we're going to do 1/6 plus 1/4. So first of all, we look for common factors, and straight away we know they've got a common factor of 2. Now, unfortunately, 4 is not a factor of 6, so we know that we can't convert quarters into sixths, so we can't get away with just changing one fraction shape or type to the other. However, with a common factor of 2, it is possible for both sixths and quarters or fourths to be simplified into halves if you have enough pieces. But we've only got one piece of each, so we know that halves are not going to work in this example. So we move our attention to the next step, which is let's look for common multiples. Now the multiples of 6 are 6, 12, 18, 24, and so on. And the multiples of 4 are 4, 8, 12, 16, and so on. So we could skip count on and on for both of these. And which is the lowest one we can find that they have in common? And of course we can see there it is 12. So this tells us that we can convert sixths into twelfths, and we can also convert quarters into twelfths. So both can be converted into the same fraction type as each other. So we do that, and let's first start by turning our attention to the quarters. So to turn quarters into twelfths, we'd have to do a fair bit of cutting. We'd have to cut each quarter piece into pieces of 3, or into 3 pieces. So by doing that, we can see this in the diagram. We then have 3 times as many of our light blue quarter that we started with as well. So we end up with 3/12. If we turn our attention now to the 1/6, we have to cut each of those into 2 pieces, and then we'd end up with twelfths. And if we show that on the screen, we can see that our 1/6 in light blue also got cut into 2 pieces. So that would give us 2/12. So now we have converted both of these fractions into something equivalent and different to what we started with, but they are now matching as twelfths plus twelfths. So 2/12 plus 3/12 becomes a simple addition equaling 5/12. So we've solved 1/6 plus 1/4 is 5/12.